All right, register right now for the new Kaizen Academy. Hope everybody's feeling good. Hope everybody's feeling good. All right, make sure you share this training. What's up? What's up? Good morning. I know I'm supposed to be playing music right now. Yo, man, I don't know if everybody knows it's going down right now in China. I don't know if everybody knows about that. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later on the day. I'm gonna put something up on my page, but I don't even think most people even know what's happening right now. It is wild, y'all. Like literally, the shipping costs are skyrocketing. I'm gonna put on some music and whatnot just so we can start this thing off. But oh my God, man, it is not it. If you really want to, yeah, Didi, we're going through something that is crazy right now, and nobody even seems to see it coming. Like the whole world is going crazy because China produces everything, y'all. China puts everything out there. This could dramatically affect everybody's life in America, really in most of the world. What's up, Kim? What's up, Smitty? We talking about empty shelves. We talking about crazy levels of inflation, y'all. It's really about to go down. And I don't even know if everybody sees it happening. What's up, Siobhan? As a communist country, what China does is they plan everything centrally. So that means stuff like electrical usage. It's planned. It's planned by party officials instead of governed by supply and demand like we got here in America. So China sets these electricity quotas, right? And because of all these supply chain disruptions, I don't care if you're talking about COVID, I don't care if you're talking about unprecedented factory demand, many of the provinces are using more electricity than they plan to use. You with me so far? So now China ain't got enough power. What does this mean? This means that the cost of a shipping container, y'all, that used to be like $4,500. Listen to me. It's now $18,000 to $33,000. How many businesses can absorb that? What is my point to you? My point is you need to be working on something that's digital. You need to be working from home. You need to be setting yourself up so that you are inflation proof. You need to be helping people increase their access to money. What's up, KJ? You need to be protecting people's access to money, to credit. All I'm saying is that, man, we a no-brainer, man. I hope everybody's ready. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. And I don't even know if everybody sees it. That ain't even a topic of this morning's call, man, but I just wanted to throw that out there. There are videos on YouTube that will blow your mind. So we're going to kick it about that later on, but I just hope everybody sees it, man, because it's not about to be fun out here. It ain't about to be fun out here. Like, it's really about to go down. And what makes me feel sad is that I don't even think a lot of people see it. I'm going to go ahead and call it on this live line. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning. How you feel? Man, I was rocking that Rich Forever, but oh my God, if you don't pay attention, you headed for poverty. What's up, Taisha? Shirley in the house. Hey, Miss Nixon.
Because we're going to bring the millionaire out of the
Y'all ready?
Thank you.
Good, Ali.
Yourself.
Appreciate that, Kim.
All participants are muted.
Appreciate that, Queen.
Entry and exit tones are off.
Yeah, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you're feeling incredible. Goodness knows, man. Like what I was just now breaking down about China, what I was just now breaking down about inflation, what I was just breaking down about all the crap that's going on around the world, whether you're talking about COVID or you're talking about the fact that we're dumping all this money on top of COVID, which is making inflation skyrocket. There are enough stresses, there are enough challenges out here without you also jacking yourself up. You hear me? You have an internal voice that acts kind of like this you think it's your conscience talking to you, right? You think it's sort of like something from on high that's keeping you from hurting yourself. That's not what it is a lot of times. A lot of times what it is an inner hater. I'm not lying to you. A lot of times what you're dealing with is like a self-limiting critic that you got on the inside. Y'all ever heard that expression? If there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do me no harm, right? Or that whole thing, like you're looking for the enemy, and the whole time it was the inner me. Y'all know some of these sayings? Well, I'm gonna tell you something, man. We all had this inner critic that we got to learn to shut down, because what that fool do is he starts talking to us, and it sounds like our own voice. And the next thing you know, you start talking in that voice. And what's so dangerous about that is you start developing how other people see you. When you speak up, listen, if you don't value yourself, ain't nobody gonna come along and raise your price. You get what I mean? We talked before about imposter syndrome, this feeling that you ain't worthy of success. You got a roommate, y'all, that you would never even choose for yourself, right? That's always telling you stuff like you ain't doing something right, or you ain't as smart as your colleagues or your teammates or your counterparts, or you ain't equipped for this job that you got right here. Or here's one of your favorites. I should be further along. I should be further along. You know what I mean? You hating on yourself. I'm stagnating. I'm running in place. You know what I mean? Or here's another one of your favorites. I'm overwhelmed, right? And then what happens is you keep on listening to this inner voice, and as you listen, you swear you're the only one thinking this way, or you swear you're the only one wired this way. The devil is a liar. The truth is you are not alone. Michael Jackson voice. You hear what I'm saying? As human beings, social scientists have proven that the average person has about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts every day. 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts every day. And about 80% of them are negative. And then 95% of those are repetitive from the day before, right? We catastrophize. That's what we do as a habit. We make everything worse than it is. We add drama. We add unnecessary insignificance. Do you hear me? That's why this weekend's course is all about habits, man. Because what we want to do is start showing you how you always get a trigger, right? A response, right? And then a reward. That's how habits are formed. There's always a trigger, there's a response, and there's a reward. We kind of talked about this on Free Coaching Friday the other day. If you were here for Free Coaching Friday, you know, we were talking about how there's always a trigger, a response, and a reward. A trigger, a response, and a reward. And what I want you to do is when these things come along in your life that are going to trigger you, I want you to start kind of like jumping into this place where you realize that you have a responsibility to change how you react. You have the ability to respond. That's why this Saturday's Academy is so darn important, y'all. Because I really want you to get into a place where you realize that, hey, despite the amount of automatic negativity, there's some good news. The good news is you don't have to be permanently stuck with this awful roommate who is delivering this nonstop, cruel commentary. You can choose your own thoughts. You can change the narrative. Get started taking back your sovereignty. We talk about it over and over again, man. The three things you got control over is your time, you got control over your tongue, and you got control over your thoughts. If you can't control those three things, we all jacked up. So what I got for you is I got 4 different practices that you can use. I got 4 different practices you can use. If you just want to join the Kaizen Academy for this particular episode, then you can do that. Right? We have it where you can do that. You can just join for this one class. You know what I mean? Copy and paste that right there or screenshot it. Nah, copy and paste it. Or just hit me up for the link and we'll get it to you. You can just join with this one class because what I want you to do is begin to adjust your habits. Am I making sense to somebody out there? I want you to feel strong about being able to adjust your habits. If you're ready for number one, give me a number one and a share. We're about to get into it. Give me a number one and a share, y'all. There's no way that you can give yourself a positive life with negative thoughts. There's no way that you're going to smell good if you're spraying crap in the air. It's impossible. And the only way for you to do it is for you to recognize that you're doing it. That's the only way you can change. You know how they always be like, awareness is the first step to change? That ain't just some rhetoric. That ain't just cliche. So here's the first one I got for you, y'all. Practice number one, if you want to tame that inner me that is constantly judging yourself, so then you start to judge other people, right? The first thing I got for you is that you got to clear the power outages. You got to clear the power outages. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? You got to clear the power outages. What could that mean? Haziq, what are you talking about? What I'm saying is everybody, I'm talking about me and you. I'm talking about, President Obama. Yeah, I still call him President Obama, right? Check it out. Everybody experiences temporary losses of power or temporary losses of confidence that are triggered by, unmet expectations or mistakes or breakdowns or conflicts. Maybe it's other people. Some power outages are going to be small. Others can feel like a citywide grid failure, like what China is experiencing right now, right? But here's my point to you. Even though it's extremely difficult to function when you have a power outage, even though it's very understandable if this causes you to spiral, right? And then spiral some more. Fortunately, the severity of this thing, the time spent in these power outages can be decreased. You don't have to be constantly in a place where you feel powerless and victimized. You can decrease it. Here's a little 3-step process my therapist taught me. 1, take 3 deep breaths, right? Right? That's the first part. Second part, find somebody you trust to talk through the power outage. Make sure this person understands that they're there to give you the opportunity to be heard and not problem solve. I'm going to tell you, moment of transparency, where I mess up all the time is I try to solve the problems. I try to solve the problems of my friends, of people that I care about. I try to solve the problem. I'm going to tell you, I've got to work on that because sometimes what we need is just to be heard. And when you share all the details out loud, when it's you that's going through the power outage, it'll be cathartic. It'll allow you to mitigate the drama that's all trapped inside your head. Because sometimes when you say this stuff out loud, you get to recognize that it's losing its power. You get to recognize that it wasn't even as real as you were making it, right? And then the third thing is decide when you can let it go, right? Determine what kind of actions you can take that'll help yourself reset. Does that make sense? Millionaires, here's the second one. I got a second one for you. You ready? Give me a number 2 and a share. Is this making sense? We all have this inner critic that's always telling us, I'm not far enough yet. I feel overwhelmed. Why is the whole world crashing on my shoulders? We all go through it, right? That's right, Allie. That's right. That's right. That's right, Mark. Here's practice number 2. Choose a new story. Choose a new story. What do I mean by that? What I'm saying is people constantly and continually tell themselves disempowering stories about their circumstances, about themselves, about other people, about their own partners. Then what we do, because of something called confirmation bias, is we go around collecting evidence to prove ourselves right. Everybody has three basic beliefs about themselves: that they're basically kind, that they're operating on their own free will, and that they are smart at something. So nobody wants to be proven wrong. So after we create this narrative, what we tend to do is create all the evidence, collect all the evidence, collate it, organize it, alphabetize it, all in an effort to prove ourselves right, even if what we're trying to prove right is disempowering, even if what we're trying to prove right makes us live wrong. You get what I mean? Millionaires, what you got to be able to do is choose a new story, right? Tell me I got a witness out there. Tell me I ain't tripping, right? Tell me I ain't tripping. Check this out. You find yourself under a new manager because everything's been reorganized, right? Now you're in shock. You're in disappointment, right? You're angry, right? You've decided this new manager doesn't like you, right? You've decided they don't value your contributions. So what do? You decide it's never going to work. So now what do? For the next few weeks, you start collecting all this evidence that supports the belief, all the reasons why this was a mistake, all the reasons why you should not be in this situation. And then what happens is something happens, some kind of misfortune happens, and then you feel like, yo, this is more proof right here. I knew it. After weeks of suffering, you losing sleep, you're venting with a select few, you're forming like a Whiners Anonymous, right? When they don't even have the kind of life you want to live. But what they do is at least they listen, because misery loves company. Is that a fact? But then somebody asks you, am I going to have to listen to this every night? Or are you going to change? Right? Because you can't keep on, y'all know that song, keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. Right? Is that what's going to happen? Is the world finally going to change? Listen to me. If that's you, like it's me, okay? Maybe this is your wake-up call this morning. Maybe it's not that you want a new job. Maybe it's not that you want a new relationship. Maybe it's not that you want to switch businesses. Maybe it's time to change yourself. Maybe it's time to appreciate your team. Maybe it's time to appreciate your clients. Maybe it's time to appreciate your compensation and your upward potential, your ability to insulate yourself from all these ups and downs in the economy. But what happens is you don't even realize right now your job is on the line. Your sleep is on the line. Your sanity is on the line. You don't realize that the cost of this negative story that you're telling yourself is misery. How long can you keep on going with this same frame of mind? If you're waiting on the world to change, you're playing victim. Millionaires, you can either keep down this path that you're going, or you can choose a new story and be happy. I'm going to tell you something real. If you gave your inner genius as much credence as you gave your inner critic, you'd be light years ahead. Somebody give me that in the comments. I'm going to start giving my inner genius more power than my inner critic. Man, don't make me start giving y'all, you know what I mean? Mark 11:24. My man Mark Bates is in the house. Hey, Mark Bates, you know Mark 11:24? You know that one? Somebody give me that one in the comments too. Mark 11:24. Y'all know about that one? Mark 11:23. Mark 11:23. How about Psalms 77:14? What y'all know about Psalms 77:14? What y'all know about it now? Yeah. All I'm saying to you is that we got to start giving our inner genius more power than our inner critic. We got to start giving our inner genius more power than our inner critic. I choose a new story. I can learn from every mistake, right? Next thing you know, it provides me with this new lens I can look through, which now I start to see actions that I wouldn't have taken before, right? Now I start to see opportunity in the adversity, right? So what happens? You know, you go back to that same job where you were complaining, And all of a sudden, you're seeking out opportunity. You're helpful, right? Now you're setting up breakfast with the new manager, right? Now you're getting to know them personally. Now you find out he or she ain't even that bad. Now you're making recommendations to improve the business. Now you're improving the culture and they're listening. All of a sudden, you have evidence for a whole new story, y'all. All of a sudden, y'all are going to love this class this weekend on habits. I'm going to prove to you that you ain't got to impeach that new dude with unanimous votes or that old version of yourself with unanimous votes. All you have to do is start casting all the votes you can for a new self-image. It's going to blow your mind. Listen to me. So here's a 3-step process for choosing a new story, right? The first one, what is your negative story? Somebody give me that in the comments. What is your negative story? I dare you. I dare you document it. I dare you admit to yourself what your negative story is that you're living right now that's creating most of your misery. You know, you hear me say it all the time. All suffering comes from self-absorption. Check it out. That ain't all pain. I said all suffering. Pain is the initial event. Suffering is choosing to stay in it, choosing to ruminate on it, choosing to cherish it, choosing to treat it like it is the reason for your life to be miserable. What's your negative story? Here's the second one. What's the cost of believing this story? Understanding the cost of believing in that story and how it's holding you back from progress and happiness is one of the hugest things you can do to want to change. Here's the third one. What's another story you can choose? What's another story you can choose? What's another story you can choose? Check this out, man. I was talking to one of my comrades the other day, and we were just breaking down, like, literally, how can you lose the game? When you the referee, you the star player, you the 6th man off the bench, you the timekeeper, you the scorekeeper, you the crowd, you the cheerleader. This is your game. But a lot of times what happens is we get attached to our inner story, right? It's hella valuable to get input from somebody you trust. Yeah. Especially if you would trade places with them in their life. A lot of times what happens is we get all our feedback from people we would never trade places with. And all I'm saying is that if you take on this powerful practice of choosing a new story, right? If you decide that you're going to pick your own narrative, the next thing you know, you can have an outlook that fuels you instead of holds you back. My daddy told me this, I'll never forget. And it's easier said than done, but check it out. You can choose to be right or you can choose to be happy. You can choose to be right and collect all this evidence that proves you right. This person's just a jerk. This person's just a really bad they're just a or you can choose to be happy. Here's number 3 I got for you. Run your own race. Run your own race. Run your own race. This is number 3. If you want to tame that inner critic, run your own race. You know, this comes from thoroughbred horse racing. Shouts out to Simone Simmons out there in Louisville. Shouts out to Bonafide Boss out there in Louisville, where we got the Kentucky Derby, right? When you say run your own race, this comes from the thoroughbred horse racing, where jockeys put blinders on the horse. So that way the horse focuses on the track ahead and not the horse to the left and not the horse to the right. You run your own race. This is a hell of a metaphor, y'all. This is a heck of a metaphor. Share this with somebody who needs to understand that your power comes from running your own race. If you compare yourselves to other people, most times it's disempowering because you compare your process to their results instead of your process to their process. You focus on what you don't have instead of what you do, right? So put your energy towards running your own race. So then you can focus on your strengths. Then you can be your own personal best. I got something for you. Maybe you limit your scrolling through social media. The phrase Instagram versus reality exists for a reason, right? When you see these memes like Instagram and then reality. Some of us use filters so much, we stop liking our real face. What the front door? These filters, I don't know if y'all know, but Facebook is on trial right now because they know they're ruining people's self-esteem and they keep doing it. Check this out. Here's the second one, right? Because limiting scrolling is one part. You spend all this time in a rabbit hole, a cultivated image of other people's lives, other people's adventures. That ain't moving you closer to your goal. But here's the second one. Focus on your strengths. If you want to run your own race, the second one is focus on your strengths, millionaires. Practice not just a glass half full attitude, but a my cup runneth over attitude. Not glass half empty, not glass half full, but my cup runneth over. Even if what my cup is runneth over with is mistakes I can learn from. Humanity is where it is right now for one simple reason: the mistake. The mistake. I don't care if you want to take it spiritual and talk about that tree in the middle of the Garden of Eden. Okay? I don't know if you want to take it there or if you want to take it to the fact that, like, you know, when they discovered Viagra, it was a hair replacement medication, right? They gave it to the cats in the old folks' home, and they was like, man, it ain't really helping my hair, but it's helping in this other way. And they like, oh, give us those pills back. And it was like, over my dead body. And that's how we discovered Viagra, right? I could go on and on and on. But my point is, instead of glass half full, let's go cup runneth over. Instead of focusing on your shortcomings, make a list of the valuable things that you know you contribute to life, that you contribute to your workplace, that you contribute to your team, that you contribute to your relationship. Make a list of it. Here's the third one I got for you, right? Begin to shift envy to admiration. Begin to shift envy to admiration. You hear me? What am I saying? If you see somebody advancing a little bit quicker than you, reach out to them for advice. What the heck, man? Ask them to be your mentor. Tell them they're a role model to you. You never know what these conversations can lead to for your personal and professional growth. But I'm going to tell you what we focus on. We focus on seeming perfect. We focused on status instead of wealth. I asked before, I'm going to ask you again. Would you prefer to be the most incredible lover in the world and everybody think you're the worst? Or would you prefer to be the worst lover in the world and everybody think you're the best? That answer will tell you if you're after status or wealth. And most people are after status. Here's number 4 I got for you, y'all, so we can get out of here. I know that was deep, right? I know that was deep. But think it through. Think it through. Are you living your life based on other people's opinions of you? Oh, man. Oh, man. Here's the 4th one I got for you. Journal. In my book, we got a whole little mini chapter. The whole book is full of like these little mini chapters. We got this whole mini chapter on journaling, y'all. I don't care if it's just a couple minutes a day. I do a lot of journaling when I'm getting ready for these calls, right? Sometimes I do it early in the morning. Sometimes I do it late at night. Sometimes I do it earlier in the evening. But what I'm suggesting to you is that you take that 4, 5, 6 minutes a day and journal a little something. It'll create huge impact. It's proven to help people sleep better. It's proven to lower stress. It's proven to improve confidence. It's proven to improve relationships. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. I dare you. Every evening, write down 3 things that you know you did well that day. I dare you. I used to have a whole success journal. I've evolved kind of out of that practice. But boy, when I was in the dumps, when I was in this depression, I'm telling you, it pulled me out almost single-handedly. There's a bunch of stuff in life you can't control, but there's a bunch of stuff you can. And one of the things you can control is your inner critic. That's right. That's right. Not only be admirable, but admire them. You hear what I'm saying? You got one life to live, millionaires, and you worth it. You worth it. All right, it's affirmation time. I hope you got something out of this. I'm challenging you right now to dial in, right? Because this is another way you can tame that inner critic. You can begin repeating the kind of things to yourself that you actually want to live. You know what y'all calling in? Shameless plug, right? The world's first visualization coloring book. The world's first affirmation and visualization coloring book. Today's training, if you're looking to tame your inner critic, you'll love this, man. It's all kinds of like super dope images that you can color in. Remember when you was a little kid, you'd be like, that's my car, right? Right? And look at the quote. Nobody chases down ordinary people to give them extraordinary money. Right? You got all types of quotes you can post on social media, right? I'm going to tell you something. When I first did this coloring book, I almost bought this car. That's like a Bentley right there. I almost bought, it's like it just appeared in my life. I was this close to buying that joint. I thought better of it. I'm glad I did. You know what I mean? Color in your mansion, right? With the affirmation, I am now a millionaire. I know you feel like that got to be some future event, but you can do it right now. I am now a millionaire, right? And I love the quote. There's no limits to human growth because there are no limits to intelligence. There's no limits to wonder. There's no limits to imagination. So that means there's no limit to your growth, right? It's affirmation time, baby. Let's get it. The kitten looking in the mirror at the lion, right? Powerful image after powerful image. You can get it right from our website. Make sure you check out wearemillionaireminded.com. All right, y'all, it's affirmation time. Let's get it. Let's get it. I dare you try that, Dennis. I dare you, bro. All right, repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. I am so happy and grateful